The marquee game of the young NBA season took place Tuesday night in Phoenix, and the Suns put on a defensive clinic against Steph Curry and the Warriors. Golden State came in with the second most efficient attack in the league, and all of their beautiful game cutting and passing was disrupted by the Suns' switching scheme and some wonderful coaching and basketball IQ. I've talked a lot about Curry's screen gravity on this channel, and on the game's opening play, it was on full display, with Mikal Bridges face guarding him, which led to an open layup. Now, you might be thinking, Mikal's going to stick to Curry like glue, but that wasn't the plan at all. They switch this very common action early, and Booker chases him, and then notice that Bridges switches again with Chris Paul on this split screen, and it leads to the first of many air balls for Golden State. Later, the Warriors try a variation of that first play with Curry as a screener, and that triggers another switch when Steph twirls off the screen, and it's a deflection. But then watch CP3. He doesn't immediately switch because DeAndre Ayton is involved, and after a late switch, he recovers hard back to the handoff, and it takes a great pocket pass to generate free throws. What's happening here is that the Suns are quick to switch screens involving guards or forwards, but they are not asking their center Ayton to switch and run around on the perimeter, so he can stay at home and protect the paint effectively. Plenty of teams do something like this, but Phoenix is so well coached that their execution against specific Warrior players and sets was nearly perfect. When one side of the floor is cleared out, a big man slides down to help on a drive, and then both Cam Payne and Paul know Draymond won't shoot this, so they stay at home, and Paul keeps his hands up anticipating a Curry pass to force another turnover. In order for this to work, the perimeter defender needs to stay connected through screens. Mikal does this well twice on this sequence, and then the big man needs to recognize when to slide up toward the ball. Ayton wisely stayed home here, and the Suns escaped without too much damage. Compare that to this play, where the screen is for Curry near the logo, so Ayton's much higher, which is key because it prevents an open Steph 3. Here is another example where DA recognizes the pick is for Curry, so he slides to the level of the screen, and he's tight enough to actually block this step back attempt. Even JaVale McGee executed a few of these reads. He's up on Poole's screen here, and then recovers quickly on the reload to force one of 22 Golden State turnovers. This led to a little bit of cat and mouse all night, where Curry was trying to pull Phoenix's bigs way up high and force them to defend in space, but fighting through screens can protect against that, and watch Bridges instantly rotate to Steph so McGee won't have to chase him, and the Warriors miss the brief window for a wide open layup, and it ends up on the other side in what is a decently contested 3. This time they set the screen at half court, and Curry looks to attack McGee in space, and he just manually pulls him out of the paint to isolate, but then jacks up a quick shot that misses everything. And when you're defended this closely throughout the game, it can throw off your rhythm and lead to hurried jumpers. Here's another logo screen to pull Ayton way out. Steph attacks the space, and sometimes it just isn't your night. The Suns also went without any bigs for about 5 minutes, and that meant they could switch any ball screen, and Chris Paul ends up deflecting this out of bounds. All of Phoenix's switching requires loud and early communication. Cam Johnson calls out the screen and then meets Curry really high here, and he can completely switch on to Steph with no big men in the game, and the Warriors end up with another empty possession. Wait for it. Communication like that leads to textbook defense like this. Shamet jumps out on Steph, Booker slides toward the roll man, and then the backside rotates to the shooters, and it's yet another Chris Paul steal. He had 5 in this game, along with 3 deflections, in what was an amazing defensive night. After the game, Curry repeatedly mentioned how disruptive the Suns' length was, and he probably had Mikal's 7'1" wingspan in mind, since Bridges hounded him on the ball, making it difficult to find clean looks. And there was also this gem at the end of the first half, where he helps off of Steph, and then recovers to send his layup into the front row. We're used to seeing Golden State gash teams with their split cuts, where their shooters cut off each other around the elbow, but intelligent switching makes that a little trickier, and since Booker isn't worried about getting over this screen, Poole's backdoor doesn't work. The natural counter to that is to slip the screen instead of setting it, but Bridges does a great job recovering, and his length deters a pass, and it just fizzles out the play. The Warriors' best counters in this game came after timeouts, and here's a beauty where Curry ghosts the screen, which means he's sprinting, so it's hard to switch and match his speed, and the play works, but the pass never comes. Other counters Steve Kerr drew up came after timeouts, and they attack the Phoenix big men. Poole's cut distracts the weak side defenders, and that gives Looney a free path, but he stumbles and they miss the window. Another way to combat this is with off-ball screening. This play to start the half is a Warriors special, and Ayton doesn't recognize Curry's coming into his man screening radius, and it ends up in a good look, and sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. It's hard to play defense as well as the Suns did in this game, but Monty Williams has constructed one of the stingiest units in the league by taking these general concepts and applying them to different opponents. In their matchup in Brooklyn, they overloaded any empty side against Kevin Durant's isolations and were able to hold the Nets' offense to just 106 points per 100. You can also see on a play like this, they don't just mindlessly switch every screen because they might not want the smaller Chris Paul on the giant Durant, and so Crowder pushes him downhill into the dropping big man. Yet against a team like Atlanta, you'll see all of their solid pick and roll principles come out more often. And this is why right now, Monty Williams' team has the second best defensive rating in the NBA. And in the battle of heavyweights the other night, they managed to hold Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors under 100 points for the first time in 43 games. If you are a Patreon subscriber, there are a few more plays from this game I broke down over there. You can check that out and support this channel at patreon.com/thinkingbasketball, where we have additional content, a community, daily stats, and more. Let me know in the comments below what else is catching your eye early in this NBA season. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this one, and wherever you are watching from, I hope you are having a great day.